Hello! Hello! It is me, your friend from Canada, your friendly neighborhood Canadian, Mr. Reed. This is my YouTube channel, my amateur, low-end YouTube channel. It is February something, 2020, and since I did such a great job of predicting the Golden Globe Awards a few weeks ago, horrible. Golden Globes are unpredictable, to be fair. I figured someone who loves the Academy Awards and movies is this guy. I'm not a movie expert. I'm just a movie fanatic. I'm a cinephile, movie lover, physical media all the way. How many streaming services are we going to have by next year? It's crazy. Oscars, Academy Awards. Listen, there's a few things you need to know about me. I fucking love sexy booty. I love Coca-Cola. I love women in high heels. I like shiny coins. I like chocolate. I like cheeseburgers. And I fucking love movies. And I love the Academy Awards. Even though the Academy Awards do have a history of being weird. Because the Academy Awards don't always give the Oscar to the person who deserves it. I know it's shocking. But sometimes the Academy, they give Oscars to actors that they've screwed over their entire career. So when an actor like Al Pacino finally wins an Oscar, it's not for great roles in like The Godfather Part 2 or Dog Day Afternoon or Serpico. It's for Scent of a Woman. Or when a great talented actor like Denzel Washington finally wins a lead actor, a Best Actor Academy Award. It's not for Malcolm X. It's not for Flight. It's not for The Hurricane. It's for Training Day. The Academy has a history of sometimes owing Oscars to great actors. So sometimes it's like a career Oscar award. And when you think about Denzel Washington, you don't think about, oh yeah, that Oscar-winning performance in Training Day. And you know what? They do that sometimes. Like Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe, who's one of my favorite actors of all time and one of the best actors of our generation, his Oscar win came for Gladiator. I love Gladiator. We're not getting into a fight. Gladiator is amazing. It's one of the top 50 favorite films in my life. But in 1999, Russell Crowe was nominated for lead actor, best actor for The Insider. In 2000, he was nominated for The Gladiator. And then in 2001, he was nominated for A Beautiful Mind. The Academy screwed up in 1999 by not giving him the Oscar for The Insider, a lot of people felt. So in 2000, he got it for Gladiator, which was a great role and awesome and cool. But when you say it out loud, it sounds kind of weird, right? Anyway, doing lots of clapping, Ricky Bobby stuff. Oscars are tomorrow night. And this is the second year in a row they don't have a host because the United States of America is very politically charged, PC culture, social justice warriors, all that stuff. Americans are finally waking up, realizing that maybe Hollywood elite actors, millionaires, movie stars shouldn't be preaching gun control, minimum wage, all this stuff that is affecting the United States of America. Because the Oscars sometimes get political. It's not just a show about awards and movies. It would be great if it was, but it's not. So, this video, my predictions for tomorrow night's 2020 Academy Awards with no host. It's going to be awesome. So, longtime movie fan, longtime Academy Award loving Canadian man. That's it. That's my resume. Better than most people predicting the Oscars. There's a long time when I thought this man named Tom O'Neill was a prophet. I thought he was a genius. I thought he was a wizard from the past because he was so good at predicting Academy Awards and Grammys and Emmys, and he's the movie show guru. And then I realized there's a site called goldderby.com, which I love. I love it. Some people, you smoke the crack. And some of you, you do the cigarettes, you do the alcohol thing. I like to predict award shows and reality TV shows and lots of random stupid stuff. And goldderby.com is the place to go check that out. Anyway, Gold Derby is this place where a whole bunch of people, movie fans, movie pundits, movie critics, movie experts, blah, 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 all predict. And the thing I realized is a lot of these experts, they're changing their predictions like every few days. It's not like, these are my predictions, lock it down, nail it in the ground, put it in a book, call it the Bible. I don't know. But I started to lose respect for Tom O'Neill and a lot of these experts because you can't keep changing your predictions. Because they're in Hollywood, and the mood of Hollywood is sometimes the Academy is leaning towards this, and sometimes what happens at the BAFTA Awards and the Golden Globe Awards and the New York Film Critics Award and the Los Angeles Film Critics Awards all affect the Oscars. I'm just a man from Canada who likes clearly Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and women eating ice cream, and women, and yeah. So, and the Los Angeles Kings for today. Oscar predictions. Sorry, I'm a little hyper. Okay, last year, does anyone even remember the Oscars last year? I had to double check. Green Book won Best Picture last year. I've never seen Green Book. Rami Malek won Best Actor for Bohemian Rhapsody, which he totally deserved. Regina King won an Oscar for If These Walls Could Talk. I hate her so much as an actor, but she was good in Watchmen from what I saw. Marshaley, I don't remember much of the Academy Awards from last year, or even 2 years ago, so it's weird. And I'm not going to lie to you, there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, but I did see a couple. So that's going to add to this awesome Oscar prediction video. Okay? Is that it? Is that a good one? That's a good fucking prep time? I think that's good. Okay. We're going to do the categories that are weird. I'm going to be honest with you. The toughest category I'm having this year is makeup and hairstyling. I shit you not, because my instinct tells me Bombshell, to pick Bombshell. But part of me wants to pick Joker. And then I'm hearing people, I heard John Campea talk about it and other, YouTube people that I enjoy. And that's the toughest category for me, makeup and hairstyling. So I think I finally locked it down, because then there's this political undertone, because last year, Black Panther won 3 Academy Awards. I think it was last year, right? 2017, 2018, maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't remember. But anyway, Black Panther won 3 Oscars. So Black Panther has the record for most Academy Award wins by a superhero movie, even though Black Panther was an average movie, and mostly that was a PC, America feels guilty about slavery, whole spin on that movie. It was one of the worst Marvel cinematic movies. Don't fight me, it's the truth. And it had the worst Marvel villain in the history of movies. But it's won 3 Oscars. I bring that up because Joker has 11 Oscar nominations this year. Joker. So, is Joker going to win some Oscars? Are they going to make history? I don't know. But this makeup and hairstyling category is one of those categories where Joker could maybe make history. History being, does Joker win 3 Academy Awards to tie Black Panther? Or does it win 4? It's tough. Sometimes the Academy has an agenda. They do. It's not always like Samuel L. Jackson didn't win Best Supporting Actor in 1994 for Pulp Fiction. Martin Landau did for a movie called Ed Wood. That was one of those, we owe Martin Landau a career Oscar because he was in Sliver with Sharon Stone. Fuck, we feel bad for Martin Landau, and he was in Tucker, the Man in His Dream. Let's just give him this Oscar for this fucking Tim Burton movie with Johnny Depp in it. Where Samuel L. Jackson, one of the best performances in movie history and a career-defining performance for him, doesn't get an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. See? Oscars are weird. They're weird. So, on video, I'm going, sadly, Bombshell. Bombshell is going to win makeup and hairstyling. But it'd be cool if Joker did win that, because Joker did look cool. Other nominees in that category were Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which I haven't seen, and 1917. Bombshell to win makeup and hairstyling. Okay? Costume design. Nominees are The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think I'm going with Little Women because usually the Oscars pick the classy, the you know, like Age of Innocence, Hamlet, you know, though, you know, British type awards. That's what they usually go to. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood could sneak and win that award. I'm just going through production design. Nominees are The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. I'm going with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to win Best Production Design because apparently Quentin Tarantino spent a whole lot of the budget on this movie redesigning, rebuilding Hollywood to look like the late 60s, and apparently that movie is amazing. I haven't seen it. I'm not a big Quentin Tarantino fan anymore. I have some issues with Quentin Tarantino. I think he's overrated. I think he has the wrong kind of foot fetish. He really likes women with ugly, gross-looking feet, and he always puts feet in his fucking movies. It's fucking weird. And he's a racist, probably, because, really, how many times you have to say N-words in all your movies? Like, get over it, Quentin Tarantino. I think once you get older, you realize Jackie Brown's the better Quentin Tarantino movie over Pulp Fiction. Okay, see? This is going to be a weird video. Film editing. Nominees are Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Parasite. Ford vs. Ferrari is my pick. Cinematography. The nominees are The Irishman, Joker, The Lighthouse, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 1917 is going to win this because cinematography was by Roger Deakins, who finally won an Oscar a couple years ago for Blade Runner 2049. So now people are like, Roger Deakins is a god, even though Roger Deakins has been a god for a long time. He's going to win the Oscar for 1917 for cinematography. Visual effects. The nominees are Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, and Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Personally, I'd love Avengers Endgame to win because that's my pick. It's one of my favorite movies of last year. I thoroughly enjoyed it. One of the best superhero movies of all time. But apparently, even though lots of people had issues with The Lion King, everyone agrees it had phenomenal visual effects. So The Lion King will win Best Visual Effects. Let's just check. Because I want to get into the big... Okay. We're not going to get into the documentary stuff and short films because I'm sorry, I'm a bad person. We're not going to get into that. We got into that. Okay. Sound editing. The nominees are Ford vs. Ferrari, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. 1917 is going to win this. Sound mixing. The nominees are Ad Astra, that boring Brad Pitt movie that made my friend Bruce fall asleep in the theater, Ford vs. Ferrari, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Usually these go to the same movie. Not all the time, but sometimes. I'm picking 1917 for sound mixing as well. So sound mixing and sound editing, 1917. All right. Original score. The nominees are The Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I would have liked to have seen Endgame in this because I thought Endgame had a great original score. But the winner of this, and the movie that deserves it, is Joker. One of the best things about Joker was the score. Such a good dramatic score. Amazing. Very well done. Like, it was one of the best movie scores I've heard in cinemas in like 10 years. So Joker will win Best Original Score. We're going to do that. I already did that. Film. Did we talk about film editing? Ford versus Ferrari. Yes, we did. C. Cinematography. C. Sometimes I get confused. Okay. Adapted screenplay and original screenplay. The nominees for original screenplay are Knives Out by that trash bag Rian Johnson who ruined Star Wars with The Last Jedi. Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Whew. You know who's going to win this? It's going to be weird. It's not my... I listened to John Campea talk about it and a couple other people. I'm picking Parasite to win original screenplay. It's going to shock the world. It's going to shock the world. That's also going to win Best Foreign Language Film, even though we're not going to talk about it. So Parasite is my pick in an upset. But if I had to pick a second... I don't know. We're going to leave that alone. We're going with Parasite. Adapted screenplay. The nominees are The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and The Two Popes. Okay. I'm picking, even though this movie I'm fundamentally against on a moral level, I'm never going to see Jojo Rabbit. I just am not going to see it. It's not for me. I don't want to see Hitler in a no. I'm cool. People like it. People, autumn. Freedom of choice, freedom of expression. Cool. I'm never going to see Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit will win Best Adapted Screenplay for Mr. Taika Waititi, the savior of Thor, and possibly future Star Wars movie in the future. Okay, so now we just got the big categories. Let's do some Coke. Cola. Coke. Yeah, no. Okay, now we're going to do the big ones. That's what she said. Okay. Whew. Okay. I'm saying okay a lot. Best Supporting Actress. Last year, it went to Regina King, who I hate on a fundamental level. I hate her. I hate everything she's ever done. I hated her in Jerry Maguire. I hate her in every movie and TV series I've ever seen, except for the first few episodes of Watchmen. But that's that's 2% out of 100, so I still hate her. So the nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Laura Dern, A Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh for Little Women, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell. The critics' darling for this category has been Laura Dern. That's right, purple-haired girl who hated men in The Last Jedi. That will be forever her role. Full disclosure, I watched A Marriage Story. And you know what? Laura Dern was okay in that movie. But she is not an Oscar-winning, deserving performance. No effing way, man! The Oscars like to do something with the acting category. They did it last year with Best Actress when Olivia Colman won Best Actress, and some people were thinking Lady Gaga was going to win. Some people thought Annette Bening was finally going to win an Oscar. But sometimes the Oscars, every year, they like to pull a fast one on everyone, and it's in the acting category. And usually, it's in either supporting actor or supporting actress. I think this year, Laura Dern, who's won every critics award in the world for a very boring, mundane, not special performance in A Marriage Story, she's not going to win the Oscar. And yes, I hate her because of The Last Jedi. And I don't think she's that very good of an actress. And if you watched A Marriage Story, how is she deserving of an Academy Award? She didn't eat up scenery. She didn't, blow you away when she was in the movie. She didn't, So, honestly, I'm going with Margot Robbie to pull the upset for Bombshell. Or it would be cool if Kathy Bates snuck in there and won her second Oscar. But no, not Laura Dern. No way. No. Boo to Laura Dern in an overrated performance. No, we're not going to get into it. Because I'm going to get mad. I don't want to get mad. Best Supporting Actor. This category is effing tough. Listen to the names. Tom Hanks, Best Supporting Actor. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes. Al Pacino and Joe Pesci for The Irishman. Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, Tom Hanks has an Oscar. Hopkins has an Oscar. Pacino has an Oscar. Joe Pesci has an Oscar. Guess who's winning Best Supporting Actor? Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Apparently this is a very good performance. I haven't seen the movie yet. It's $20 on Blu-ray right now at fucking Sunrise Records. I'm going to buy it eventually, pretty quick. I'm just on an anti-Quentin Tarantino thing, but I love Brad Pitt. He's a fucking great actor, and he's made many, many good movies. And he probably might deserve it, but this category is stacked. I could possibly see Anthony Hopkins sneaking in there for the Two Popes, because I did see the Two Popes, believe it or not. But I'm going with Brad Pitt. That's my Gold Derby pick. Okay. Woo! We're having a good time, aren't we? I think we're having a good time. Leading actress. Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story. Saoirse Ronan. Fuck, sometimes I say her name. For Little Women. Charlize Theron for Bombshell. Renee Zellweger for Judy. Renee Zellweger is going to win an Oscar for Judy. I think it's about Judy Garland. She's won all the critics awards. It'd be cool if Charlize Theron won for Bombshell, because she's fucking hot and she probably does a very good job. Scarlett Johansson does not deserve an Oscar for Marriage Story. She deserves a nomination. She doesn't deserve to win. But it's going to be Gold Derby, lock it down, Renee Zellweger, and then it's kind of like we owe you for Cold Mountain. Leading actor, Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory. Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Adam Driver, Marriage Story. Joaquin Phoenix, Joker. Jonathan Pryce, The Two Popes. I've actually seen Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jonathan Pryce. Surprising. I've seen all three of those movies, but Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, is going to win Best Actor. There are a couple people who probably should have been nominated, but weren't. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio probably shouldn't be in there, but Hollywood likes Leonardo DiCaprio. That's how they do it sometimes. Joaquin Phoenix is going to win Best Actor for Joker, make movie history, and this will be the second time ever that, Heath Ledger won Best Supporting Actor for The Dark Knight. So this is awesome. The only other time Hollywood has done this is in 1972. Marlon Brando won Best Actor, and in 1974, Robert De Niro won Best Supporting Actor. They both played Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 1 and The Godfather Part 2. Marlon Brando was old Vito. Robert De Niro was young Vito. They both won Oscars for the same part. This will be Hollywood making history, honoring two actors playing the same character, which is the Joker. So that'll be cool. Directing. The nominees are The Irishman, Martin Scorsese. Joker, Todd Phillips, surprising. 1917, Sam Mendes. Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He had a foot fetish and was a racist. And Parasite, Boon Joon-ho. I apologize. Sam Mendes is going to win his second Oscar for directing. He won way back in 1999 for a little movie called American Beauty, which is fucking amazing. And he directed Skyfall, which is what all you guys care about. But anyway, American Beauty. Sam Mendes is going to win Best Director. He won the Directors Guild Award, the DGA. Usually the DGA and the Best Director line up. Oscar winner, Director Guilds of America winner. Sometimes it doesn't. Ben Affleck, way back in 2012 for Argo, where the Director Guild of America were like, Ben Affleck, you're the best director for Argo. And the Academy's like, Ben Affleck, we're not even nominating you for Best Actor. Go fuck yourself. That happens. The Academy's weird, man. Okay, Best Picture of the Year. Now, this is the Dark Knight rule that has altered the Academy. That's why The Dark Knight is the greatest superhero film of all time and the best superhero comic book movie of all time. Because not only is it the best and the greatest, it altered the Academy Awards because so many people were pissed off that The Dark Knight didn't get nominated for Best Picture back in 2008, or even Best Director, which it probably should have. But it got nominated for everything else, and obviously Heath Ledger, Best Supporting Actor win. After that, the Academy was like, hey, we're going to nominate more than 5 movies a year. So they have a rule. They can nominate up to 10 movies. This year, the nominees for Best Picture are Ford vs. Ferrari, that I want to see. The Irishman, that I did see. It's really long and boring. Long and boring. I love Dances with Wolves. I love Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, the extended edition. I even like Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, 3.5 hours. I like long movies. I like it long. That's what she said. And if I'm telling you that The Irishman is too long, it's too long. Irishman. Too long, Martin Scorsese. Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, a movie I'll never see. Joker, one of my favorite films of the year. Little Women. They keep remaking Little Women, and it keeps who cares about Little Women? Unless it's about, like, small people. That would be cool. Small people who are wrestlers. Little Women. Marriage Story. Good movie, but pretty much the most anti-marriage movie I've ever seen in my life. If you're thinking about getting married, if you've dated a woman for 3 years, you live together, you're doing all the things right, you're not rushing in anything, both of you have a Netflix and chill night, go watch A Marriage Story. I guarantee you, you're not getting married. And you're not getting married in California. 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Those are the nominees for Best Picture. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 nominees. The winner for Best Picture this year is going to be 1917 by Sam Mendes. I just saw this movie. It is really, really good. It's an interesting World War I movie. Very thrilling, some very dramatic, but a very interesting, low-key story set with the backdrop of World War I. 1917 is going to win Best Picture, but wouldn't it be cool if Joker somehow snuck in there? Irishman shouldn't be nominated. I like Martin Scorsese. I'm not going to harp on him for his stupid comments about superhero movies or Marvel Cinematic Universe, but The Irishman was overindulgent. 3.5 hours. You could have cut 45 minutes out of that movie, and The Irishman would have been one of the best movies of the year for sure. But all these people on the internet, trying to, like, praise Martin Scorsese. No, The Irishman was boring. 6 out of 10 stars, if you're lucky. Marriage Story, which I saw, 7 out of 10 star movie in my opinion. Joker, which I loved, but it's kind of depressing. And one of those movies you'd watch once a year. 9 out of 10 star movie in my world. And 1917 in my world, 9 out of 10 stars. There you go. Those are my predictions for the 2020 Academy Awards, the Oscars, tomorrow night, February 9th, 2020. No host. Thank you for watching. Type below, make a comment, like the video, tell a friend. Tell me your predictions. Tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if the Oscars don't have a secret agenda with their acting thing and sometimes honoring career awards versus the person who deserves it every year. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Watch the Oscars. I don't know if I'm going to. We'll see. Cheers. Have a great day. Woo! Thanks.